We're done giving you warnings. You're all adults. If you're easily triggered, turn away now. Otherwise, we're not responsible for your lack of coping skills.
So if I said blame shifting and externalization, most of us would probably think about like we have some issues, daddy issues, mommy issues, family issues, boyfriend issues, some kind of shit like that. But today we're talking about business owner issues. So we are back to the business of assaulting businesses tonight. So here we go.
Don't wanna be sly and defile you. Desecrate my mind and rely on you. I just wanna break this crown, but it's hard when I'm so run down. And you're so cynical, narcissistic, cannibal. Not to bring myself back from the dead. Sometimes I hate.
So tonight's opening intro song was Narcissistic Cannibal by Korn. And obviously with the intro, you kind of get where I'm going here. But what it was it's a verse 2 in the song. It's don't want to be rude, but I have to. Nothing's good about the hell you put me through. Right? And so I felt like just that 2 lines says it all for this topic today. And I am back with my co-host, the amazing Dr. Mears. Hello, Dr. Mears. And today we actually have our first guest. So I'm going to give you some background about Jenn Perkel from HearHere LLC, or HearHere Events now, right, Jenn?
Yeah, I just got my first DBA. I'm like so excited.
So Jenn and I, real brief, she invaded my office, and let me just set the stage here. So I would go and sit outside at the waterfront, and I would work in like the public park. And I did this week over week over week. And then one day I show up, and here's Jenn with a bunch of vendors, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what happened? And then we just sort of became friends from there. And you know, and again, full disclosure, and this is one of the reasons I really respect Jenn. We had a business falling out, her and I. Legit straight up business falling out. We didn't talk for a little while. And then I ran into her, and she gave me one of the biggest hugs you know, I ever got from somebody that was supposed to be hating me. And, you know, it was all business, and that was her position. Business is business. And it was really cool because to me, that is, I come from the Vince McMahon school of thought, when it's like, even if you have a falling out with one of your stars, if they're good for business, you bring them back. It puts water under the bridge. So, Jenn, say hello to all 2 of our audience members.
Well, hello.
So Jenn, just so we're clear, also has she runs a market business, right? So she's grown this business successfully over the last couple of years, and runs these farmers markets and flea markets. And for anybody out there who wants to know, it's HearHere, as in HEAR, and then the next word is here, HERE event.
You'll hear it here.
You'll hear it here. So that is, and that's pretty catchy. And, you know, you'll always remember it. So let's talk about accountability a little bit. And again, the reason we have Jenn here on the show is because we had this conversation one day about, you know, vendors being whiny bitches over the fact that they didn't get any sales at the market, or blah, 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 and where they tend to have failed. And that's why I said a little bit of research. I looked up some, you know, I said, kind of, what are these? And again, you know how this goes, Dr. Mears. You open up the thing like, why do businesses fail? And you get the same cookie cutter bullshit. So I immediately started diving into psychology and to behaviors. And interestingly enough, I was able to find that overlap, right, of behaviors in business, and basically blame shifting, right, and externalization. It's easier to point fingers at the market, the economy, competitors, or even employees than to look inward. And this creates that blame shield. Denial, often refusing to acknowledge the reality of the situations or the role they played, right, or failed to play, right? So, you know, and lack of clear responsibilities. And on the flip side of that, sometimes it's the excuse making, right? Oh, I have so much to do. I can't advertise to my people that I'm going to be at this market. And they want to put all of that on the events and the event producers. And yes, the event
yeah.
producers have this responsibility to do the marketing. We do. We absolutely do. There's
Mhm.
no guarantee. Your particular audience in a wide open market, even if it's kind of themed like a farmer's market, doesn't mean that, we are catering to your one demo. So this is where we are today, to bitch a little about that and tell these folks out there, these small businesses, what they need to do, what they should be doing to improve their
Mhm.
odds at markets and events. So Dr. Mears, what's your take on my perspective today?
Well, it's a couple of things, and I'm not going to walk the fence, but so here's where I am. First of all, it is exceptionally tough out there. There is global competition. It's crazy. We've got nonsense and uncertainty if you're in supply chain and all of that whole kind of thing, logistics, tariffs, blah, 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 all this stuff. You've got a whole host of issues if you're working with the migrant population, right? That's impacting your business. So there's all of that uncertainty and chaos. And I don't think the media has officially called it the R word, the recession, but all the signs have been there for some time. So I get that it's really, really tough. So that's the first thing. But on the other side of it, really where it comes down to is I also don't see the same level of interest and enthusiasm to promote the things and co-promote it. For example, what I'll speak to is I've done now 250 episodes of my podcast. It was formerly called The Grit Files. It was ranked top 5 nationwide until 2023. I got burnt out and fried, did nothing in 2024 with respect to the podcast, and I've resurrected it as Small Business Stories. That said, out of the 250 people where you're like, hey, share it with your network, put it out there, because I don't charge people for it. It takes time. Eric knows this. He does all the production with this podcast. You make the thumbnails, you need the software, you need the this, you need the help, the production, da, 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 da. It's costly. Plus it takes time to do it. And I don't know what the number is because I never really calculated it, but I'd say of the 250, I'm probably somewhere like definitely sub 20%, maybe 10% that have actually shared it and pushed it out to their networks. And that's really shitty because it's good stuff, right? I make them look good. They are great anyway. And you just really work at it instead of a newsletter. A lot of people can do that. AI can barf that up these days, put some pretty pictures in, call it done. But the production of a podcast really takes planning, effort, the coordination, the scheduling, the rescheduling. Did I say the rescheduling? Right? Until you get it all in. And then people don't promote it. And it's like, are you disappointed in how you look? Are you embarrassed by what I did? Because I think I'm doing a decent job. And it's
lazy. So what's your take on this, Jen? Because you're like me. You're knee deep in a lot of bullshit with
Well,
these small businesses. And so where do you land?
today I almost had an Arbud Dwyer day, like for real. I just had a problem today. So I start planning these farmers markets in in January for them to open in late May, early June. I curate the markets, making sure there's only one of each type of vendor. I work with each of the vendors to get all of their paperwork compliance with the Department of Health, with Fire Safety Bureau. It's hours and hours of, can you tell me what happens if it rains? Read the fucking market contract. There's a lot of, I have contracts, I take payment plans. I'm a one-woman show. I do all the promotion. I make all the ads. I coordinate and do site visits. I, talk to all of the towns. I solicit them to see if they want a farmer's market. It's a lot of preparation. I would say it's a full-time job plus between January and basically the end of April. And then, the beginning of May, the markets start. All my banners go to where they need to go. My print, this is thousands of hours, hundreds of hours, and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Only for me to get to the market. And today I get, let's say I'm preparing for the market tomorrow, which is in Seabright from 1 to 6 p.m. I have 12 vendors, and 12 vendors can fit in this small area. I coordinate their setup. They are preparing for all of this. They're cutting lemons, making sure the car is packed. They have their canopy, their tablecloths, their chairs, their displays, everything that they need. They have weights, they have sandbags. They've put all the prep into this, and they get to the market and they sit there on their phone, or they look at customers once in a while. And I say, hey guys and girls, I've been promoting this all week. I post every day on 26 accounts. That's a 2 and a 6, 26 accounts. I not only post my stuff, I post everyone else's stuff, repost if, capital IF, they tag me. I provide them with weekly setup letters with all the promotional materials and graphics that they need to promote themselves, so I can repost it to the people who follow each individual market page, only for a vendor to call me this morning and say, you know what, I don't know if I want to go to the market. I didn't really make a lot of money. And I said, well, what? I never ask how much. I always ask, did you do good or did you do not good? He goes, we barely broke 1,000, or we barely broke $1,100. And I said, the guy next to you selling hot sauce for $10 a bottle sold 5 bottles. Why are you telling me that making $1,100 is shit? I said, I don't want to hear it. Besides, you didn't even post for the past month that you were at the market. Right. I did all your promotion, so I should get that $1,100.
You know,
he wasn't very happy with that.
No, and he wouldn't be, because people don't want to hear the truth. And you know, there's this great misconception that I believe vendors believe, and I see it. It's not just us. It's not just you. I watch other events and I don't see the guests posting. I don't see a lot of vendors. Like, I see some, right, because they're heavy into it. They've got the science down. I want to get I have, 200 consistent people. Like, let's say the tattoo convention, right? They'll be posting on their tattoo website. I'm going to be at this place. I'm going to be at that place. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
That's all I ask.
Right.
Tell your people where you're going to be so they can bring their wallet there.
Right. And it's true. And because, there's a lot of people too that might sell online as well. So they're just let's call them market vendors or market dwellers. No, dwellers are the people who go to the markets. Market vendors are the people who who set up. Yeah. Right. So you have them coming in and the thing is though, some people want that real live experience too, but I don't think a lot of these small business vendors understand that some of their online customers want to touch it, taste it, feel it, smell it in the moment. And I don't think they realize that. So, I think you're faced with this consistent problem that a lot of event producers and market producers have, and a lot of businesses have the same complaint. I did not do well. I've heard it. I've heard, oh yeah, I only got 1 lead. Well, dude, you were talking to another vendor for 4 hours.
Yes. And I even remind them, hey guys, there's a lull in the market right now. Now would be a great time to post what you have and tell them we're here for 2 more hours. Yeah. And I get that
look, right? That sigh, like, oh my God.
Right. If you won't promote your business, I promote it. Can you please be proud of the stuff that you have and promote it? I don't promote myself. I promote everybody else. Yeah. And it's crazy.
So Dr. Mears, I'm gonna, we're just gonna keep this going because we don't want to turn it into an absolute bitch fest, right? Because I am good for a good solid 60 minutes of bitching, as Dr. Mears knows. It's like my therapy session here. But let's talk about that, because we just did our previous podcast. We were talking about different skills, right? We were talking, and maybe this is not the same. We were talking about soft skills and things like that, right? But this is in that skill set of being a business owner, this accountability for self, and you teach it, Dr. Mears. So let's talk about where are these shortfalls coming from? Because I can't believe everybody is a blame shifter.
Oh, okay. So 2 things on there. So even when you were in the opening introductions, I was thinking, yeah, I'm accountable for things. There's things I could have done better with my team, better coordination, better project management, better this, better that, things where I failed as a CEO and as their leader. I'll own up to it, where it is. And you just deep down, you keep hoping, well, like this will get better. And then you get distracted to this, to that, because typically you're running so lean, because most of us aren't trust fund babies. Most of us, when we go all in, we don't have any other source of income. Like this is it. It's like it's do or die, right? So you got to make it. So you're hoofing it and doing all of this. That said, I think where it's starting to break down is that we're in the era of me, myself, and I, right? It's all about me, 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 me. And we've lost, I think, the interest and the ability to recognize the power of leaning in on each other. Even Sheryl Sandberg, right? Googler, she tried, she's like, yeah, lean in, big, movement and all of that globally. But people aren't really looking for it. At the end of the day, everybody's very much like a soloist. And I look at that and, here's another example. In my YouTube channel, which is growing, I offered a collection of folks to come on as hosts. They can have their own show. I would do all the production, pay all the software, pay all the teams, promote it, the influencers, the ads, the everything, so that we could have a multi-host show, because I recognize the value of leaning on other people who know things differently than I do, who are better at certain things than I do. And together, right, the sum of the parts, right, is greater than the whole, right? I mean, that's the whole thing, than the individual.
Mhm.
And I had 18 people. Yeah, for sure, Laurelyn, for sure. Do you know how many I have? 3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is what I've heard. If again, just dialing back. So the three of us are sitting here. We're all entrepreneurs, meaning we're all self-employed. We're all building our shit from the bottom up.
Bootstrap hustlers.
Bootstrap hustlers, right? But what I'm hearing here is that this group is of people sitting here right now, us three, and the people that probably are closely working with us, they're all accountable. They're all accountable for self. It's interesting because I mean, again, I might have had a little period of the missing year of Jenn, but I been around for a good chunk of Jenn's growth. So I've seen her hustling and trying new things and experimentation and networking and communicating. There was also that point where I came in, I was taking pictures and giving her the photography, at the time, because it was just something cool to do. Right. So it was like, okay, let me do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the collaborative economy. I always talk about the collaborative economy, and you have to be accountable for it. But again, we go back to these vendors, right? These retailers that cry about, I didn't make any sales, or none of my people showed up. That's the one that kills me. None of my people showed up. Well, did you tell them you were going to be there? And I'm absolutely fucking intrigued. Maybe it's not intrigued, baffled by how much some of these small businesses actually put in the fucking work for their business, but then fail to absolutely do the things necessary to amplify. Because think about this, Jenn, you could see this, it. I think, what is one of the people, I know you have my favorite soap company, Woodbox Soap.
Oh yeah, we love
Yep.
Shelley.
Woodbox Soap, and they're active, right? They're active in the community. They're constantly active. They, as a matter of fact, one time I said, oh yeah, I only get the soap from you. She goes, I'll give you my address. I'll just leave it on the front stoop for you. Just come pick it up.
She's awesome.
Like, that's good business, right? She's
Mhm.
and she's so she does a social and she communicates with the other vendors. No wonder they're becoming a success. No wonder they're growing. But then you have that same vendor that's there every week or every other week or whatever, and they're like, well, yeah, I only made $200 or whatever, and it just baffles me why they don't connect, why they don't do these most basic things. It doesn't take much to post to get Vista Social or some other freaking free scheduler and set up a post for 3 months. You could post the same damn thing on your page.
Yeah. And then you get the other ones that, it's so funny. They're like, okay, I'm down here in Seabright. I don't know. I have Seabright on the brain today. I'm down here in Seabright. And I'm like, great. Did you, share what you have on the local Facebook? Because you came from far away. And they're like, oh no, I posted in Woodbridge. Who's coming down from Woodbridge to go to Seabright to get your whatever it is? Like, it has to be not only, yeah, I did it, don't bother me. It has to be effective and valuable.
Yeah. So
and
it is, right? Yeah. And Dr. Mears, you're experiencing this shit too. Like you just described, with your YouTube channel. I mean, all these people, yes, 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 you to death, that we're going to spread the word. We're going to spread the word. They never do. And then they're like, well, yeah, your thing didn't do much for me. Well, yeah, that didn't do much because I have a wide, broad audience with a very wide paintbrush that's not necessarily targeted to your specific audience market. The point was to help you reach new people. So you got one person reached out to you. Okay. Who did you reach out to let them know? New customers, people on the fence, collaborators. I mean, we experience all the time. So, I mean, what do we do about this? Because obviously you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it fucking drink.
Right. But that's why I got so burnt out by the end of 2023 and into 2024. It was at the point where everybody's publicist was contacting me like, okay, hey, get this set up. Great. I want to be on the podcast, get it done. And then I felt I was made to feel by many of those guests like the hired help. Me, star, you, plebeian, get it done, go away, and just make me look fabulous. But I'm not going to do anything on my end, like promote it, share it to my network and grow it, which is the whole point. Everybody's network should be amplified through it. And it's just, it's really, it saddens me because there is tremendous potential by working together and collaborating. But and you keep coming back to this, the collaborative economy. I think the collaborative economy ended this soon, like 2022, soon as sort of COVID sort of kind of mostly wrapped up in the way that we knew it. That was the really scary, super evil, take out everyone at the knees kind of thing. And since then, we've been in the chaos economy where everybody's here. Everybody has 2 companies, 3 companies, 4 companies. It's a side hustle here. It's a side hustle here. No one has focus. No one has ability to do anything. And all of the stuff comes into our inbox. Hey, here's the thumbnail. Here's the link. Promote it. No. And it just never gets done. Oh, yeah, sorry, I missed it. Didn't get to it. We're all overwhelmed. And I really long for the days where we just had fewer things on our plates and we could go home. I don't care. Call it a late night, 6, 7 o'clock at night. Have dinner. Here it is. We're like, almost 9 o'clock. I haven't eaten yet. I've just gotten back from all of my stuff. But it would be nice to just even have that.
You ain't going to do that. You're an entrepreneur. Get over yourself.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it would be so nice, right? But it's just all of this chaos. And I'm unsure how to get out of it or to help anybody get out of it because everything I have suggested to do so, people are like, yeah, sorry, I'm in.
Yeah, well, you can't help anybody that doesn't want to help themselves, right? We know this, right? So, maybe the question is no longer how do we teach them? Maybe it's how do we penalize them? Maybe that's what it really comes down to.
We talked about that,
right? Well, that's the thing. I mean, I have my exhibitor contract. Oh, and I still have to send you that.
Yes, please.
Contract. So my exhibitor contract has a clause in it that says that basically you must at least, I forget what it's specifically, the words are in it, but you have to post to your social, some platform, your blog, your email about the event as part of your commitment to be an exhibitor and to be at my event because I'm advertising you, right? I could just as easily put you in put a vendor in the ad column instead and say, well, pay $500 for 2 emails to my 30,000 members, businessmen, and that's what you'll get. And I'm not going to promote you any further. And I don't think they understand the value in that. But I think that's really the case is like, okay, maybe it has to go down the line where it's like, this is the vendor table. This is what you're paying for. You'll be on the website, but I'm not going to post you on my social. But if you want to be posted on social, it's an extra $25 a week. Or like maybe it has to come down to that ridiculousness because maybe that's the answer is people just don't see the value in it because again, I can't believe everybody is a blame shifter. Like it's always the market producer's fault or it's always the consultant's fault that things failed, right? Because it's not just the markets, it's the consultants, right? We've heard this too, Dr. Mears. We've heard that, oh, I went to so-and-so who's going to tell me how to do my business this way and that way and the other way. Or, what's that other one? Oh yeah, I didn't get the tax. I thought I wasn't going to owe this year. It's my accountant's fault. Right? Oh, wait a minute. No, it's your fault. Like either you didn't get the right write-offs or you made too much money, whatever it is. But so I mean, I'm just again, this is like one of those. I guess this is a Mobius strip that we're talking about here today, right? So I don't know. I mean, I would love to say to everybody listening, and I would love to say to every vendor that does an event and every client that does consulting work, you know, you are accountable, and at some point you really have to latch on to that accountability, because I'm accountable, Jen's accountable, Dr. Mears is accountable. We're all accountable for our businesses and every action we take. The hell was it? I can't remember what it was. Oh, that's right. I was talking to my business partner Mark about an event, and it's a very cultural dynamic. There's really not a lot of advanced ticket sales. There are a lot of pay at the door in the culture, right? So I'm being warned, don't cancel your event if you don't have enough tickets, because they're all going to show up at the door. And I'm like, said to Mark, well, if we don't have, you know, X number of people at the door, what did I do wrong? You know what I mean? I said, what did I do wrong?
Right.
You know, so
Same
I
with
mean,
customers at the market. Like, people look at me and go, you, how come you didn't bring the customers? And I was like, wait a second. You pay me for all of the paperwork that I facilitate for you. You pay for my negotiation skills to get you the spot. When I was a teacher, just coming out of teaching, going into vending, people used to look at me because I wasn't a vendor. I was just an organizer. And they'd say, well, what do you sell? And I would say, I sell hope. I hope you do well. I hope you promote yourself. That's what I sell.
Dr. Mears, you're a little quiet today. Are you hungry?
No, well, no, because if I was really, really hungry, I'd be hangry and I'd be like, you know, like karate chop, get in there, attack. But no, I'm not. Like, I'm basically Zen, but I'm interested in what Jen's experienced here. But it seems similar. There's so many event producers that I know that have all but given up trying to plan and do events. They can't even get stuff going when it comes to planning bridal showers and birthday parties and stuff. Everybody's always canceling left, right, and center. And you're thinking, oh my God, it's my kid's freaking birthday. Like, get your ass out of bed, scrape something together, order something from Amazon the day before, order it wrapped, call it done, right? Come to my kid's birthday. And people are canceling all the time. And so I just think we've gotten to a point where we've become either so fully overwhelmed that we've got some kind of level of paralysis where we just can't do anything anymore. We're immobilized by the sheer enormity of everything around us. It's too much. It's protests. It's this, it's that, it's government. It's crazy. It's this. Like, everybody's just kind of afraid to go outside, that nothing's happening. People aren't going to events. And if you don't make it come to me, forget about it, because I'm not going to come to you. I think that's the world we're in now.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, at this point, I'm just going to quit and become an OnlyFans girl. Like I said, I think that's my fate.
Oh, dear Lord. No
Except
feet pics.
OnlyFans is, you know, since last year, they now have, I forget what the number is, but I mean, look it up, like Mr. Data Guy there, but they have more, I forget what they call them, like performers, than they do buyers.
Yeah, subscribers.
So last year, right? So again, they can't even attract a freaking enough buyers.
Going back to the whole chaos economy, I don't even know that it's really a chaos economy. I think we're just back to this dog eat dog world, because, you know, that competitive mindset is it's silo, right? You're a solopreneur at this point, which I think is just the dumbest fucking word. Right?
I like it.
I don't think it's
don't.
entrepreneur.
I think it's stupid. I think we should be collaborative. Entrepreneurs or hustlers in a group, you know, in this stuff, in my opinion. We shouldn't be like, a solo is just, I don't know. Anyway, that's nonsense to talk about. We can fucking bitch about that all day. But I think, you know, this collaborative idea of working together is beyond people, because we are so dog eat dog, because we are a saturated market in everything. We said this in the last episode. What was it? What did I say? 900 and some odd thousand people as of the beginning of 2025, or some ridiculous number. Check the other episode, listeners, is business consultants. Everybody's a fucking business consultant now. You know what I mean? I met an event, quote unquote, event producer about a year ago, and we started chatting, and I was talking to them, and they're not an event producer. They're basically a flea market organizer. Like, they do nothing. They absolutely do fuck all. And they call themselves an event producer. I'm like, yeah, but that's not an event. That's a flea market. And like, oh, well, yeah, well, we have balloons sometimes and clowns for the kids. And I'm like, oh, okay. And in my brain, I'm like, oh, so it's a fucking circus, and to what you say, Dr. Mears, again, there's this saturated market and it's become dog eat dog, and it becomes what makes you stand out. And a lot of things that Jenn does, it's back of house. A lot of things you do, they're back of house. Like nobody knows this. And I think in part too, this is putting the accountability on ourselves because we're out to some degree, I'll say humble. We're not out there standing on social media or screaming from the rooftops all the shit we do for people, all the shit that's going on in the back of the house.
Truth.
Right? I'm not standing there going, well, listen, I program. It takes me 18 months to program this. I'm chasing people. I'm doing this. I'm filing for the permits. I'm paying for the insurance. This is what I got to. I'm not doing that. Right? I'm not telling everybody that. I'm just saying, yeah, here's what you got to do. And here's what we're offering. And yay, all the bells and whistles make it look really fun or whatever. Nobody knows, Dr. Mears, that you had to do production on your talk show because we never talked about it. Nobody ever talks about it. Nobody knows all the paperwork Jenn is having to shuffle. And we're all three of us understand the government sector. Red tape, bureaucratic bullshit, and egos. They all are just layered on there like a really nasty, moldy sandwich. And we have to deal with that. And people who do these events and markets don't. These small businesses have shit to deal with, so they should understand it. They should.
That's just it. Like, why aren't we in an era, pardon me, of greater kindness and leaning on each other for help, because things have gotten so complicated, so difficult, right? That I'm all about that. Like, how can we help each other? How can we help you? Like when I go to a networking event, it's like, what can I do for you? Who do I know? How can I help? Because everybody needs somebody to do something to help them. And if we were in more of that economy, the collaborative economy, which it was, I think pre-COVID, I think we could be doing better.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, Jenn, you're in the thick of it, and I think you're in a bit of a like your audience, your target vendors. They're not, trying to book a space in the Javits Center at Comic-Con. You know what I mean? Like that's not your market. Your market is really this true grassroots small business movement. You know what I mean? So you think they would be hungry to promote where they're going to be? What do you think is stops them from doing that?
Yeah. And I'm very exclusive about who I choose. It's not like I have 6 people who do the same thing. I pick these people because I think they'll do well in certain places. I don't even know. I wouldn't understand why they can't promote themselves. I'm not asking them to promote me. I hardly ever promote me. I spend a lot of, I would say 99% of my time is spent promoting other people's businesses, but they can't be bothered to even repost something on social media. Like if I give them all the marketing tools. Today, I went through all of the accounts who are supposed to be at the market tomorrow. And I said, hey, are you guys still coming? I didn't see any social media posts.
Well, this is where, like, sorry, Jenn, let me cut you off.
No, go, please.
I was going to say that I think for any entrepreneurs out there that are listening, maybe this already exists. I'm not aware of it, but we need a blast all tool. Do you remember LinkedIn used to have this locator thing when you were doing networking, and it's like group find me, and like boom, you just hit your little thing, you open your QR code, and like everybody that's in that proximity, boom, it would generate where it can have like an auto post and say, yeah, I'm at the the procurement con with Eric Vincent and the Black Ink folks, and we're here. Like that's exactly what's needed, because again, everybody needs the fucking easy button, right? Just hit the thing, boom, everybody turn your phone on, because guaranteed you haven't turned it off. Hit this link and boom, here we are. And then auto post, hey, I'm here, come join us.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to say that there's that, but I mean, as much as I dislike Snapchat has a location tool. Like, here I am, and you snap it, right? You have that. Vista Social's out there. that's just, you know, that's a free, we use Vista Social. You could have paid platform, free platform.
Mhm.
You know, we use the paid version because we have like, you know, 10 platforms, social media platforms. But I think the free version gives you like 4 or 6, you know, that you could post to, and you could schedule your posts like months in advance. You can't even schedule on Meta, I think, more than, is it Meta?
I thought it was
30
a
days.
month.
Yeah.
Meta's a month, right?
Yeah.
So you can't go more than 30 days on Meta, but with Vista Social, you could schedule for a fucking year.
Mm.
You know, so there's platforms out there that make people's jobs easier. The other thing I think too, and I'm gonna put the onus now on just the internet and society at this point, not the small business. I think there's something out there where people have lost touch with the pride of the product. Now they're more about,
Mhm.
how do I make my product look pretty on social media? And I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to stage my product. That sort of, oh, if I don't do it this way, I'm not going to look good on social media, or it's not going to stand out. And I think that might be a deterrent for some people to post on social. So social media is considered one of the most crucial marketing platforms for connecting with customers directly. That's key,
Mhm.
right? That's engagement. Not create new customers. It's not about necessarily creating, it's directly, because it allows businesses to foster loyalty, build relationships, answer questions in real time, communicate in real time. And, you know, so it is the lowest barrier of entry to marketing. And I think people have to stop. I think small businesses have to worrying about, does the photograph look like? Do I need to put some rose petals around it? Just fucking post your shit where you're going to be. Just go
Yes.
back to basics, because the other thing I think a lot of people are not aware of is we are in this blowback moment of social media marketing, right? In that visual context. The type of marketing between AI and all these quote unquote content creators staging things and setting everything up, everything's becoming advertising noise. People are pausing, you know, yes, there's that rule. If you can't get them in the first 6 seconds, you've lost them. And that's fine if you're trying to monetize your YouTube videos, you want that hook. I think people are starting to clamor for that classic old school, show me your shitty bar pie, I'm hanging out with my friends, social media, right? We're seeing the rise. I think we're seeing an uptick on pauses on things like memes and stuff like that, where people are pausing to look at something that looks like just average content again. And I don't think people are aware of like how valuable that is. And maybe that's something that's stopping a small business from posting to social media, because the work they think it takes, and I know I'm blabbing on, the work they think it takes to do a post is there's a false perception of what they have to do, maybe.
So during the market a few times, I do it several times during the season. I walk up to a vendor and I said, I just want you to hold whatever you have and do this.
Wave, yeah. Just hold the product and
just
wave.
smile and wave, boys. And that's the content. And I stick I use stickers on Instagram, which I give everybody via email once a week.
Nice.
Just, hey, it has the name of the market, the location, the date and times. And
what's your metrics on those posts, on those organic posts? Do you have any rough metrics? Like compared to, let's just say, a plain, like a graphic you put up, like what's the versus?
It's usually 5 to 10 times better than just posting a graphic. If I go, hi, my name is Jennifer Perkel. I'm the owner of HearHere LLC, and I'm the Farmers Market Manager for the Seabright Farmers Market. If I start my video like that, and I try and tell the vendors to do the same thing. Hi, my name is, this is what I sell. That's it. Move on to the next person. And I do like a vendor spotlight, and they can use that over and over. But that rather than faceless content, my faceful content works. And it's so much better when people get to see like the person behind the bottle of hot sauce stuck in the sand kind of thing.
And people want to see that. I actually just last night sent to my social media team, like, your new graphics, the content, like everything is just beautiful. It's really cool. It's modern.
Mhm.
It's a unique look. I said, we need to do more to integrate the 3 terabytes of video content I have out there with me and bring some of that in, because people don't know the face of the brand. And Eric, will
Mhm.
come back to what you said, that with all of this Canva and all these wonderful tools now, the bar is impossibly high. I have people bitching on my podcasts and things and saying, oh, you don't really have a professional background. Yet it's all the research, the investigative work, the probing
Right.
questions,
Yeah.
the guests saying, wow, no one's ever asked me that before. This is really fascinating, and great conversations, but you don't like my background because I don't have a professional podcasting booth.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's again, I think people are missing the mark. Like I there's actually something, oh, what's it called now? Hold up. I'm gonna hold up the show now. What is it called? It's called SpaceHey, SPACEHEY. It is a MySpace clone that is literally a MySpace throwback that's active. They've got, you could join for free, called SpaceHey. It looks like fucking old MySpace, and I believe it's upwards right now close to 1 million users.
I just posted a picture of Tom the other day, like, that smiling that said, me smiling at my vendors like they're still in my top 8, except those
Yeah,
who
right.
didn't post.
So let's see. Yep, SpaceHey claims to have over 1 million users as of June 2024.
That's
But what does that
awesome.
tell you?
Well, that's different though. So I've heard about this, and there's other platforms that people are looking for authentic connections. So you're limited. You can't post memes and all of this sort of shit, right? And so it's, how do you form those connections? LinkedIn's going the other way. All of the LinkedIn executive team is out there really pushing video. Use video in, reach your audience. Don't just talk about professional stuff. Talk about personal things. This is a whole platform. LinkedIn is social media, right? It embraced, ever since it embraced its social media status, I think it's really gone downhill with respect to the quality of content. Everybody's thumping their thing. Buy my book, buy my webinar, buy that. Like, it's just, I've lost, my mind trying
All
to
right, to show you how far it's gone, there are a couple of professional adult toy makers on there selling their adult toys.
I love it.
It's not corporate. It's like, but there's people out there. Like, it's ridiculous. So that just gives you a sense to how deep down the rabbit hole LinkedIn is gone. But the reason I bring up SpaceHey, Dr. Mears, is because it's a testament to, and if you hear people talking about tell personal stories, it's a testament to the desire for, and I would say even to go as far as say Gen Z's very much. There's a segment of Gen Z that's echoing Gen X right now. In the touchy.
Well, they are our offspring.
Yeah, but the touchy feely, they want the real experiences. There's a segment of that. But that's telling, right? That's telling, like, people are tired of noise. I mean, let's jump into Netflix. Let's jump into Hulu. You have to pay for ads now. I pay for the service and now I get ads because I'm paying to get ads, right? So people are getting tired of the advertising. People are tired of a lot of the canned shit. I mean, personally, I think that's one of the reasons the Joe Rogan podcast does so well, because there's nothing canned about it. It's not a pre-planned talk show. There's no, he's not sitting there with a list of questions like Conan O'Brien. He's not around anymore, right? You know what I mean? So I think and then what was it? Mastodon Social, right? That's Mastodon Social is purely, there's no advertising. You can't post advertising on Mastodon Social, and it's growing. So that's a testament to what the content and the connection people are asking for on social media. They're tired of the ads. They want what Jen's doing. Say hi to the camera and wave, just like them old 16 millimeter videos.
Yeah.
Well, that's why TikTok gained so much appeal. People were just dancing and say, like, frig the reality of life. And hey, I'm a dancing CEO, right? That was how TikTok caught fire. And so, yeah, the short answer is, like, I don't know. I'm constantly left figuring, like, okay, so what do you want on social media? And then you got to post all of this and say, like, hey, I'm here and I'm doing this. Great if you're doing a kitchen show, but what do you do if you're providing a consultative service, right? You're doing a marketing service or this or that. It's like, yeah, see, this is how we do this. See this ad thing we created here. I mean, it doesn't lend itself to the richness that a cooking program does, right?
See,
When
what
I'm
I
in my
wanna-
kitchen.
And to answer that, and we're in this little circle here, so one of you is getting recruited, voluntold. I actually wanted to launch, because my long-term goal for YouTube is not to monetize YouTube, it's to build content so I can have a content library to launch an OTT, right? My own channel. Like, if you want to talk about being a consultant, you literally have to be, Bar Rescue, or one of these shows that's showing a small business getting taken apart for their failures, because
Like
people
the
want
blocks.
drama. The blocks, right? People want drama, right? And there's
drama. Life's hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the
You put it in our
escapism. I don't.
faces.
It's weird, right? That's the escapism, right? People want the escapism. I get it. My escapism is horror movies and sci-fi movies and superhero movies, and that's my escapism. The only reality I actually watch reality television is all that crime shit about serial killers, because I'm fascinated why after 100 years of information with the internet now, you still think you're going to get away with it?
Yeah, that's really messed up. These people that think that we're not going to notice. Like, okay, sure, there's this thing called DNA, but okay, whatever.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's definitely another podcast. But it's just, how do we move it forward? Can we move it forward? Can we make a change? You say, like, oh, okay, you want to try to align with people like yourself who value the same things and want to lean on each other. Well, I really feel I have that network, but at the same time, everybody again is so overwhelmed just trying to figure out how to get out of the hamster wheel once in a while, right? Know that they've got to go back in, right? Maybe they get Sunday out of it, they get a little break, and then, okay, well, Monday morning I'm back in the wheel.
You're not, if you want to grow. There is always a hamster wheel, right? So I would get the notion of work-life balance out of the equation, because entrepreneurs generally historically have the shittiest work-life balance. If you're trying
that's
to
why, like the hubster calls himself like the startup widower, right? Because it's like, yeah, what do you work? Which I could work till at night. It's like, yeah, because there's always something, and
that's why
Jen said you got to keep hustling. But it's also where that's where I hope things like this podcast and being real and people trying to find each other, that we can help each other and lean on each other. And then I really wish social media would die. Like that's my secret wish. It's hurt kids. It's hurt entrepreneurs. I'm over it.
I agree with you, Jen. I mean, I know you post on social media, and
every day, 26 accounts.
You just told us now, that the metrics show that, when it's a very organic human approach, it's 5 to 10 times, better performance. This is where we go back to the small businesses having to understand that they don't have to get crazy. They don't, to promote their business, they don't need Canva. They don't need AI, especially AI with their shitty AI ads.
Canva, Coffee, Chat, GPT. That's me.
But they don't need it. Like, they can post up and go, hey, guys. I mean, again, what some of those social media videos that I end up locking into is when it's those guys who are doing woodworking.
Oh, I
and
know.
They're showing how they're making the furniture.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm mesmerized by it.
Same here. It's like, or it's just like such a satisfying sound, and you see them, and it's like,
yeah,
they're like, you're like, wow, look at that. They're doing a thrift flip. That's so cool how they made that crappy ass dresser that they found on the side of the road being dumped into trash, and they've turned it into this. Yeah, I get sucked into all of it stuff, or how they make candy, how they pour concrete. Like, I just like,
and some of these videos are the shittiest production value. I mean, they're not potato quality, but it's not like somebody is like, I've got some kick-ass cinema 4K cameras here, right? I'm not, these guys are using freaking GoPros or their phones. So it's not even like this is a hard lift for vendors, small businesses to go do to promote a little bit about being at this upcoming event. Because again, going back to consulting, going back to behind the scenes with productions, all this stuff, they don't understand the value of it.
And it's hard to show it. It's hard to demonstrate. It is hard to show it. What are you going to do? Put a camera here and watch me work and watch me do calls and watch me do things and like.
I saw it. There was there's somebody I'm not on TikTok anymore because I got fed up with it.
I was just gonna say that's TikTok.
But there was some chick. She had the camera right here on her phone, and she's on the phone talking, and she was in HR, and she was doing it to show what life was like in the HR office. I was fascinated by, and I've started to feel bad. I'm like, wow, they go through some shitty shit.
Oh, they do.
You know what I mean?
Especially now.
Mhm.
It's like the workplace is a dumpster fire. Everybody's triggered by everything. Everybody's angry at everybody. I mean, it's so crazy. I really am at that place where I just want to like sit in the lotus position, hold my
Get
hands
Zen.
down and go, can't we just all kumbaya and like namaste together, right?
Can we all just get along?
So so before we we only got a couple more minutes. So let's round this. Let's bring this full circle back to, small businesses at these markets, at these exhibitions, and let's each give a little bit of a piece of advice of how they can make their experience quickly. We'll talk quickly how they can make their experience more potentially profitable in the immediate and the long term if they can, when they're at these events or being at these events. Jen, why don't you jump in because you're in the thick of that community?
Yeah, I think it's important to just take time to connect with your customers, and if you get that free second, hold your product or take a quick snapshot and share it. It doesn't have to be designer, it doesn't have to be gorgeous, it doesn't have to be finished. Just, hi, here it is, click and post it online. That's it, easy as that.
And then just, folks, when you are, whether it's Jen or you're in another state or wherever you are, whether you're doing a big event like at a Javits Center or a giant arena, or you're doing a small, 20 vendor market, post to your community where you are the day before you're going to be there and the day you're there. I think that's super, super important. It doesn't have to be it could be you driving. It could be literally have your sidekick holding the phone as you're driving down the exit, say, on my way to set up at this market. I mean, and that's actually going to get more views than probably you standing there going, hi, I make purple ice cream.
Truth.
Dr. Mears, drop some knowledge on us.
Well, I don't know if it's so much knowledge. I'll just share just from a personal perspective. I'm at that age now where if I don't have makeup to hide the raccoons that are living under my eyeballs, I look like shit on camera. And so I'm one of those people resistant where, well, unless I'm a little fluffed and the hair is at least brushed and I've got some makeup on, I don't want to take the raw video because it can be frightening with a capital F depending on the day. And so I have that internal resistance where I don't, I'm afraid that people are going to mock me and again, comment on all of this, I'm that, whatever, how I am or how I'm not, versus, hey, this is the content and stuff I'm trying to put out. And until we can get to that place where the aesthetic matters less than the quality of the content or the intention, it's just, I don't know. I'm resisting social media.
Well, I think the answer goes back to something with like what Jen said, just hold the product up in your hand and take
I don't
the
have
photo.
a product. I sell
Well,
a service.
Yeah.
So
Wait, hold
service.
up. Here, everybody look in the thing right now. This is
There
a
you go.
picture of me, very meta, of working on the computer, doing the thing that's doing the thing for you to give your small biz glow up. I mean, it's just.
Well, here's what we're going to do. I think what we should do, maybe we should do sock puppets with you. Let's set up sock puppets, and then we could do a whole sock puppet theater. I bet you that shit would blow up.
I have one. I even bought one for that purpose. I did. I'm not kidding. I can run downstairs and go get it now. She's cute. She's this like blonde, sort of like sciencey gal. And I thought like, oh, wouldn't that be funny? Hi, blah, 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 blah. What do you think, Laurelyn? Oh, I don't know. I'm not in the fucking mood for this. What do you think? Oh, no. Right? No. But
all right. So here's the challenge. When Biz Talk the show comes back, because as I said, in August we're going to be doing live streams. Hopefully in August, live streams for our community. I think we're going to have to do a sock puppet episode, Dr. Mears.
There you go.
I'm in because
wait.
it would be fun and like, why not? Right? And it's just
What do we got to lose?
I don't know. Like, yeah. And like I said, even just swearing there, like now I'm starting to get hangry because it's been a long time since I've eaten. And I'm like, gotta feel
we're gonna wrap this episode up. Don't overthink this shit. and don't overthink about what your social media is going to look like. Don't worry about what the grid needs to look like. Don't worry about the brand consistency. Don't worry about stop pressing the button on every social media influencer asshole out there that has the secret to the sauce, because they don't have the fucking secret to the sauce, because those guys' secret is to sell you the secret to the sauce. Just go out there and keep it simple. And with that, Jen, I appreciate you coming on and being
Thank you.
our first official guest on our podcast. We weren't going to do this till next season. So we're really excited. And Dr. Mears, I definitely don't want to keep you too long. But let's give out the plugs. You want to be, if you're in New Jersey and you're a small business owner, maker type marketplace, or, custom food, I don't know what they call those folks, who make their own foods and jar it and all that stuff. But if you're one of those folks, artisan, thank you. See, this is why you're the doctor and I'm not. So the artisan foods, listen, folks, you want to go to HearHere. Is it events?
Events.com.
Events.com. And you want to check out Jen. She's all over New Jersey. She has some great markets, great regions, great people, great environments, great communities. And you want to try to get in there. And remember, when you're going to go there, when you sign up, folks, post on social media where you're going to be. For you small business owners that are interested in how do I deal with growing my small business, and if I have staff, how do I get those triggered Gen Zers to actually perform? Check out Dr. Mears at SteerUs, SteerUs.io, and get on board with Dr. Mears. She has some great modules that are no cost to launch you and to assess yourself or assess your business. So you're getting free stuff. So don't be so cheap that you can't take free stuff. It doesn't mean it's not valuable. The shit's valuable. She's just dropping the hook so you come back, right? When you see how valuable. And we are having our events, so I'm going to plug ours. Visit us at BlackBlackINK.events to see our business to consumer events and shows, our horror film festivals, our markets, our boxing event happening in October. And then that's for all you consumer folks who want to go out and have a good time while Rome is burning. For you business folks, check us out at procurementcon.com. Forget it, I'm not spelling it. procurementcon.com. Join us there and see what business events we have going on. We have our cybersecurity event coming up in November in Atlantic City. And ladies, I am going to say we are out of here. Thank you.
Peace out. Thanks.
All right.